Oh, folks. Oh, good fucking Lord. Why? What? Huh? Okay, so I'm sure all of you have seen this. But for those of you that haven't, I'll throw a link down below in the description. But apparently, Colborn in January felt the need to send an email to the current district attorney of Manitowoc County. Now, this email was sent to basically tell her that no evidence was planted, blah, 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 blah. Now, this is what gets me, is he sent it to her in January. The documentary was released in December. So it only took him a month. It only took him a month to say, I did nothing wrong. So, good job, Colborn. You're getting better at fucking timing shit. Didn't take you 8 years this time. Or 8 months, for that matter. So, I'm going to go ahead and leave a link in this description down below. This was in USA Today, and it's dated March 30th. Colborn sent his email to Manitowoc County District Attorney Jacqueline LeBray on January 13th. If I'm talking too loud, I'm sorry. I have a cold, and my ears are all clogged up, so it's hard for me to hear. Sorry. He says here, no evidence was planted at any time by any law enforcement officer during the course of this investigation. The key to Teresa's vehicle was not discovered laying next to the pair of shoes out in the open, but was instead located cleverly hidden in behind a bookcase in Stephen Avery's bedroom.
Warning, bullshit alert.
Colborn, who the fuck do you think you're kidding? For fuck's sake, man, when you take an evidence picture, it has to be where the fucking shit was found exactly. You can't just like pick it up and move it and put it down. Oh, look, let's get a better angle. What did you do? Did you like take the fucking key out from behind the bookcase and place it down there and then tell it to toss its hair and wet its lips? For fuck's sake, man. Everybody, this is Hannah. Hannah's our new puppy. So now we have a crime-fighting dog on top of a crime-fighting cat. Anyways, I just wanted you to know why I was like not moving with my left arm as she's sitting on her little ottoman, her dedicated ottoman next to me because she loves mama. Anyways, when you go into a scene and you find evidence, before you touch that evidence, you have to document where it was found. So my question to Colborn is, where the fuck is the picture of the key, the original key in the original position that you state in an official email to the district attorney of Manitowoc County? Where's that fucking picture? Yeah, I thought so. There isn't one because you're full of shit. Cleverly hidden behind a bookcase. Okay, so first it was in a drawer, then it migrated to the bookcase. Then it was lodged in the back of the bookcase and you had to pry out the back of the bookcase to get it to fall. Oh my God, there's so many different versions of this fucking story. Then he says that his original purpose for sending the email was to alert LeBray to a talk radio show hosted by Dan O'Donnell, headlined Debunking Making a Murderer. And he says to LeBray, it exposes every lie in every episode of the Netflix story. After listening to the program, Colbert came up with about a dozen additional other facts as well, which became the basis of his email. In his email, Colborn also claims that Avery incriminated himself to an unidentified Calumet Sheriff's deputy while he was jailed for Halbach slaying. Well, then where is it? Where's the testimony? Where's the officer to say as much? Because, I'm sorry, but if that were true, I'm sure the prosecution would have been only too happy to have that deputy and his ass on the stand to play that shit for everybody, to say that in front of everyone. But it didn't happen. It didn't fucking happen, and we know it didn't happen because had it happened, Kratz's ass would have been only too happy to fucking expose that shit. He says, it should be noted that during a court preparation at Calumet County Sheriff's Office, a deputy informed me, Jim Lank, Ken Kratz, Mark Wiegert, and Tom Fossbender, wow, he really made the rounds there, huh, Colborn, however the fuck you say your name. I can't believe it took you guys 8 times to find that key. That's what he says, Stephen Avery said to the deputy. You know, even if that's true, my interpretation of that would be completely different, because to me it would sound like, you know, yeah, sure, you didn't frame me. You didn't plant that key. It took you 8 fucking times to find it. He then proceeds to tell her, I'm unaware if that statement was used at Avery's trial, and if not, why? You're unaware? You're unaware. You're unaware if it was used at trial. Your ass hurts. On the contrary, no police reports were ever turned over to Avery's lawyers, and no testimony was offered at Avery's 5-week trial surrounding Colborn's supposed recent recollection. Probably because Colborn just remembers shit for no fucking reason. And it's never the way that it should be. Then when he sends to her about his testimony regarding the license plates. After playing the audio recording, Strang asked, were you looking at these plates when you called them in? To which Colborn testified, I should not have been, and I was not looking at these license plates. In the email, Colborn suggested that he requested Halbach's vehicle description as well as her registration plate number after being notified by the Calumet County Sheriff's Office that Halbach was reported missing. I had no way of running the information given to me by CASO from my patrol car, so I had to call into dispatch to have them run Teresa's registration through WIDOT to ensure that I had copied down the plate number correctly. Well, that's hilarious, because on the stand, you stated that you had been given that plate number by Fossbender, and it was in 2005. How the fuck do you figure you didn't have a goddamn computer in your fucking car? You're full of shit, dude. Okay, let me put it to you folks this way. I live in New Mexico. Okay? I live in Taos, New Mexico. And the fact is that if even this podunk, rinky-dink, half-a-horse town, she almost fell off. If even this fucking rinky-dink town has computers in the fucking car, I know Manitowoc County has computers in their car. So right there, Colborn, you're full of shit. Number 2, the typical method of calling in a plate that you're unsure of, if your computer's on the fritz, is to radio it in. But you didn't radio it in. You called it in. You used your cell phone to call in those plates, which to me says that you didn't want an official record of that search. You lying sack of shit. I had to have this information verified in case I located her vehicle at either of the 2 locations I was requested to check in Manitowoc County. I made contact at both locations that they requested I check for Teresa, not just at Avery Salvage Yard. Really? Because that's been proven bullshit. You are full of
That was bullshit.
You lying sack of shit. Would somebody please get a roll of duct tape and shut him up? Jesus. The primary investigative agencies for the 2005 case was the Calumet County Sheriff's Office and DCI. However, due to the enormity of the scene, assistance was sought from Manitowoc County, the Wisconsin State Patrol, and the Wisconsin State Crime Lab. It's a 40-acre fucking property. You had the goddamn scene for a week. Are you telling me that 3 agencies instead of 4 were necessary? Or, 4 agencies were necessary? They weren't. Had they fucking used their head, 3 agencies for a 40-acre property would have been plenty. There was no need for Manitowoc County to be a part of that search. None. Not a fucking scrap of it. My favorite is, for example, one search consisted of locating and collecting Avery's computer and related computer hardware. Jim Lank and I had no involvement in the 1985 investigation of Stephen Avery. How the fuck do the two of those connect? He started strong with one thought process, and then the end of that thought was like, wait, where the fuck did that come from? Oh my God. The backpedaling that is going on in Manitowoc County right now to cover their own ass is hilarious. I am loving sitting back and watching. I just need to go out and buy myself a popcorn machine so I can have a constant supply. Colborn stressed that he did not plant any of Avery's blood in Hallbox Rob 4 that was recovered at the Avery salvage yard shortly before 11 a.m. Well, that's interesting, Colborn, and thanks for the information, because I didn't actually suspect your dumb ass until you said that. I actually suspected Link. But now that you felt the need to point out that you weren't a part of it, the guilty screamed the loudest. For the next few hours, the vehicle remained under the control and custody of the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Office, and sheriff officials were not keeping a log of what police officers were coming and going. Isn't that interesting? Days later, Avery's blood was found within the vehicle. Days later, folks. Days. Days. How the fuck long did it take them to process that goddamn car that it took them days? The fuck? At no time have I ever had access to any container of Stephen Avery's blood, sweat, and or other bodily fluids connected with Stephen Avery. At no time did any of the aforementioned law enforcement agencies, along with the FBI, enter into any sort of conspiracy to frame Stephen Avery of this homicide. Well, you're trying to get a little detailed there, huh? Huh, Colborn? Because, you know, folks, when people are innocent, they do like Avery does. I didn't do it. And they leave it at that. But these motherfuckers are trying a little too hard to convince you that they're not. You know, it's funny. For being law enforcement officers, they suck at lying. You would think that being law enforcement officials, they would know what to look for in a lie, so they would know how to lie. But they suck at it. I would be willing to sign any release to allow access to both my military service records and or my personal file at Manitowoc County, as I have never been the target of suspicion, and I feel my service to both my country and Manitowoc County has always been performed to the best of my ability. Well, then your best ability sucks ass, Colborn. And how dare you use your military service? First of all, your military service doesn't have any bearing on the fucking situation at hand. Number one, you piece of shit. Number two, you have been under suspicion before. Do you remember being deposed in Stephen's exoneration case? You took that call in 1995 and you didn't report it for 8 years. And when you did, it was the day after Stephen Avery was released. And you're trying to say that you have never been under any suspicion prior to this case? Your ass hurts. For fuck's sake, man. Would you just stop talking? You're only making it worse for yourself. Just shut up. Stop. Where is your mother? And why didn't she teach you to just be quiet and take your licks? If you fucked up, you have to own up to it. That's it. All right, folks. I will leave the link for this article down below in the description. And I will be back later on today with another video. So, don't forget to subscribe to me here on YouTube. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Mama Phoenix6. Head on over to cluetv.net, see what we got going on over there. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you soon.